Welcome, friends, to this final session of our 3-day program. As I said earlier, we should practice what we preach, we should practice what we read, we should practice what we hear. Let's practice. Let's meditate. Now, in this session of meditation, we apply the normal rules which we will apply all the time and use the different modes of meditation. Namely, first step to establish ourselves at the center of the third eye, that we are sitting at the third eye in the center of the head. That's the first step, before we do anything else. We close our eyes, see that we are aware of the body, we are aware of the head, and that the head is on top of our body. The body is like a house. We are on the 6th floor. The level of the 6th floor is behind the eyes. We are sitting in the center of that room. Once we settle down there, we can sit down on a chair, cushion, mat, whatever we are used to, an imaginary one, but a good one, expensive one. It's free today. So we take the best that we can and we sit on it in the center of the head. And then we repeat the words of Simran. Those who do not have meditation or have no words of mantra, they can coin a short phrase for today, expressing their love for the beloved. A short phrase that they keep on repeating slowly. When we repeat the words of the mantra or the Simran, it should be done deliberately, slowly, and with the idea of listening to every part of the word. Remember, it's not the repetition that's going to pull our attention. It's the listening to what we are repeating that's going to pull our attention. Therefore, listen carefully to what your mind is speaking. Your mind is repeating, you listen. The mind is the speaker and the soul is the listener. So you listen carefully what you are repeating. As you repeat, you can see many scenes come up, you can see faces. Some faces you may not recognize. Strange faces sometimes come up in front of you and they keep passing one after the other. Many faces are from past lives. They are associations from past lives and they are drawn up during meditation and they come in front of you. Do not follow any face, any form, anything that happens. Look at it from a distance and you will notice that they don't stay, they move. Let them move from one side to the other. Like a television screen, something is moving across. You concentrate on staying at the center and don't be pulled forward by what is happening in front. Whatever it is, you just watch. If you can hear a sound, you listen to the sound. If the sound has a pulling quality and you feel that it can pull you upwards, then you listen to the sound and you can, for that moment, give up the repetition of the words. If the sound is not there, you can keep on repeating the words. And if the sound becomes dull or less or not pulling, you can go back to repetition of the words. If the sound is coming in a very steady way, and you're doing your repetition of the words, keep on repeating. Ignore a sound that does not have too much of a pull. If a sound becomes attractive and pulling, then you switch. If you see the form of your master, then hold the master by talking to the master and at the same time trying to repeat. Repeat the words first. Repeat the words while looking at the form of the master. If the master's form remains and they don't scatter and does not disappear, then you know the master is actually there. And you can really talk to the master. If you can learn how to repeat the words at the same time have a conversation, you can do that too. It's not very difficult, but it needs a little practice. Once you've done that, if you feel that you are rising from the body, that you are leaving the body behind, don't get worried. Just allow the attention to be withdrawn upwards, nothing is happening. It's only the attention being withdrawn. Your body is functioning normally. And when the attention is withdrawn, gradually, even the whole body can disappear. You can vacate the attention from the whole body and pull it to the third eye center. When that happens, you find that you have a body which is very light and can fly. During this session of meditation, I may also suggest for some of you who want to fly in the inner sky. How many of you would like to fly in the inner sky today? Okay, I may also suggest a way to get out of that space which you have created and take a window or a lighted window that will come up, into which you can go into a sky and fly, and you can look down upon the world as it is. So that everybody may not get it, but many people do get it. So if you can have that experience, it will be a very nice experience to show you how your light body, your astral body, is capable of a lot of experiences inside. And then, after all is done, I will count 5, as I have been doing before, and draw the attention back to the body and back to this auditorium. Fair enough? Any questions? Okay, if you're ready, close your eyes. Put your body in a comfortable position, which is comfortable enough not to have any aches and pains in the limbs, and yet not so comfortable that it makes you go to sleep. If you sit upright, it will be a good position to be in. Welcome back. How many of you were successfully able to do this meditation? Very good. How many of you could fly? Very good. Good. Small number, but still good. It's once you concentrate your attention and detach yourself from the experience of the things outside, it will become very easy for you to fly in the inner sky. That's the astral sky. It's actually the overlap of the physical and the astral sky. And therefore you can have a contact with this world from there as well as the next world. But when you go higher up, then it becomes a new world altogether. These are the beginnings. After that, when you have this experience, after that you come to the radiant form of the Master, and then he becomes your permanent companion, and he comes and goes, appears and disappears for a while, but then he stays steady. And he doesn't go anywhere. Actually, it's our attention that is not focused enough. Our attention moves back and forth, and therefore sometimes we don't see it. It is customary for me in some of these programs to offer you, on behalf of the great Master, some astral gifts. How many of you have ever received astral gifts from the roof? Oh, so many of you already received them. Very good. How many of you would like to receive them? Or at least take a chance at finding them. Okay, let's do that now. In this small event of getting a gift, astral gift, not a physical gift. Physical prasad will follow later. But this is just something that is not from this world. To do this, you will close your eyes and go on top of the roof of this building, on the top of the building. You can go from outside and climb, you can clamber, you can just fly straight through. It won't be difficult to go on top. Again, it's an imaginative exercise, and you are going to use your imagination to go. What will surprise you will be, the gift will surprise you, of course, if you get one, that it is not what you expect and it is not made of the stuff that you see normally here. When you go to the top of the roof of this building and you walk on top, you'd see a package. If you see a package, that's your gift. You can unwrap it there or bring it down, unwrap it here, and see what it contains. Are you ready? Close your eyes And imagine you are going on top of this. You can go by any means suitable and just feel that you are on top of this building and look around. If you see a package, take it. Open your eyes and come back here. How many of you could find a package in this short time? Well, quite a few. How many of you liked what was there? Good. How many of you found it was something totally unexpected? Very good. Who would like to share the unexpected gift? You'd like to tell?
My gift was a beautifully wrought, but the interesting part of it is when I first touched it was a vase, but then I thought of something and that vase transformed into a flower or birds or whatever I thought of it, it would transform into it.
Did you like it?
I love it, but it's like magical, you know?
Very good. I'm very happy for you. It's a good gift for you. It has deeper meaning, and I can tell you sometime the deeper meaning of it. Okay, I'll tell you. Yes, anybody else want to share? Yes.
I was trying to figure out what this might be.
Was it lighted up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, very good. Many of these objects that we get are lighted up. They emit light or color, or like crystalline, or there are many of them. Many people get that kind. Like they are symbols, symbolic. When the eagle comes, it says, soar like an eagle, go up. You got the message. Good. Yes. Were they lit up? Candles were lit up? Very good. Very good. You liked it? You liked it? Very good. Congratulations. Yes. Did you expect it? Did you expect it?
Absolutely not. I didn't.
Well, I'm glad that you got something you didn't expect, but you don't know what to do with the marshmallows now.
No, which is.
The beauty of our consciousness is that the mind part of it tries to understand. But the soul part does not understand, does not want to understand. The soul part wants to experience. The understanding, rationalizing, making sense of it is a mental activity. What comes, we take it. Of course, in this particular case, the marshmallows came from a past memory. It came from a past memory of marshmallows, which was just subdued in the subconscious, and it arose during this experience. But that was just a personal thing that happened with you. But the thing is that in these cases, we cannot always understand what we got, which leads to another lesson in Santmat, in the spiritual path, that when life gives us something, we accept it. This acceptance is a very important part. The more we accept what comes to us, the less new karma comes up, the less new karma we create, and that acceptance develops love and devotion for our Master, because we know it's a gift from the Master. Everything that we get in this life is a gift from the Master, and therefore when we accept it, we are accepting a gift with gratitude. So whatever we get, we say thank you. We have got so much from our Masters that even if we keep on saying thank you all the time, it's not enough. You can look back and see what the Masters have done. So thank you is a good word all the time, in meditation and outside of meditation. Okay? Anybody else wants to share? Yes?
There was no ball. I just saw a black crow.
What did you see?
Black crow.
Did you like it? No?
Whatever gift, I just like it.
Did you know what the meaning is? It's a symbolic thing. This is a symbol from our spiritual literature, which says that we are like black crows. And when we go above the mind, we have a dip in the nectar of Amritsar, true Amritsar. not the outside Amritsar, true Amritsar, the lake of Amrit, and we come out with swans. The black crows, you will see the black crows go in and coming out the swans. And so that's a transformation that happens. The second transformation that takes place at the same time is that the 5 vices, lust, anger, possessiveness, greed, ego, they disappear. They run away like little boys from the tank where we are getting a dip. The black crow is having a dip, we see. They run away when you come out as a swan. So I wish you come out as a swan. Okay, we have come to the conclusion of this program, and any final questions you have, you can ask me on what we have been doing in these 3 days or what we have not done, you can ask. Yes.
ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਰੂਹਾਂ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਕੰਮ ਤੱਕ ਦਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਤੱਕ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਏ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਥੂਲ ਸਰੀਰ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸੂਖਸ਼ਮ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੇ ਮਨ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਉਹ ਰੂਹਾਂ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ?
ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਦੇਸ਼ ਤੱਕ ਗਏ ਹੈ, ਕੌਜ਼ਲ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੱਕ, ਕਾਰਨ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੱਕ ਗਏ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਅਖੀਰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਦਾਇਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਦ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸਲੀ ਰੂਪ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਰੂਪ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਘੁਮਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੈਵਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੱਕ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ। ਕਈ ਸੂਖਸ਼ਮ ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਕਈ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੱਕ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤਸੱਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਅਸਲੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਪੂਰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਸੱਚੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਦਿਲ 'ਚ ਤ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਜਾਣਾ, ਕਿਤੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੁਕਣਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ। ਬਸ ਇੰਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ।
ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਰੂਹ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਪਛਾਣ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਦੂਜੀਆਂ ਰੂਹਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਕਿ ਕੌਣ ਸੇ ਕਿ ਵਿੱਚ?
ਹਾਂ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਪਛਾਣ ਸਕੋਗੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਸਭ ਪਛਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। Well, this was a question in Punjabi, and might translate part of it that says there are many saints, many mystics, many masters who have gone to different levels of consciousness. As it happens, because they have not seen anything beyond, they think that is the final destination. And they very often call it Sachkhand, they call it the true home. People who have taken their disciples to the astral stage, the astral stage looks exactly like the state from which this world is created. So you feel that you have come to a world where this one was physical, was created, physical is a reflection of that. So it looks like a final stage. Unless there is somebody who goes above that, even a disciple, even a seeker can mistake that he has reached the final stage. Every stage we go to, if the master has not gone above that, he will think this is it, this is final stage. Those who take us to the level of Trikuti and top of the causal stage, which is the home of the universal mind, the merging in the universal mind of the individual mind, they think is like merging of the soul in the ocean of totality of consciousness in Sachkhand. But there is no way for them to know that there is anything better. But the seekers of the soul is seeking, and those seekers will not be satisfied if they are really seeking their own true home. And if they keep on seeking, a master will come and take them back. Those who reach that state and die in the physical body never have a chance to see Master, they will be reborn. Even if they have gone there and left the body to stay forever, they will have to be reborn as human beings, be reinitiated by a Master who takes them back home. The gateway to going to a true home is the human body. Even if you are stuck somewhere for a long time in a higher region, and your seeking is not over, then you come back again as a human being, reinitiated by a perfect living Master who takes you beyond. Okay? Yes. Great Master's blessing is on all of us. We have met here for these 3 days. Has anyone experienced that their love for their Master has increased in these 3 days? See, has anybody been inspired to do more meditation? That's a good sign. That is what satsang is supposed to do. The blessing is there. Don't worry, the blessing is there. And there we have, as you know, we have a great Master's Bandara. Bandara was a tradition set up by Masters long ago. And Great Master left his body on the 2nd of April, 1948. Every year, on the 2nd of April, I remember my Master and call my friends to join me. So we celebrate, and we find that's the day when instead of having to look at him in the physical body, we could also see him in his radiant form. It's a great transformation that the Master was always there with us from that day when we thought he has died. But we found he was not dead. He was more alive for those who had manifested him in radiant form. So we have this Bandara every year. You have attended some, and you know how much the presence of the Master is felt that day. So for my experience is concerned, I see him in radiant form, blessing everybody who's there. It's a very great occasion. I feel so happy, and I jump out of my body, out of happiness on that day. And everybody is welcome. I invite all of you, whoever wants to come and join me on the 2nd of April this year and future, to join in the Bandara of Great Master. And we'll get great blessing. Blessings are even now there. But remember one thing. I am talking like this about the Great Master because I have seen him alive. He has initiated me when he was alive. I have seen his form transform from a physical form into a radiant form. But now for those who have not seen him alive, he cannot be their Master. You have to have a living Master. Those who got a living Master, initiated by an actual living being, they have to go by their Master's blessings, and they will get it from inside. If I were to say, I have the greatest devotion for this man, and yet I say that those who have not seen him alive, they are only seeing a picture of him. Therefore, you have to go with your own living Master. I call him the Great Master. People call him the Great Master, but I tell you, whoever has initiated you is your Great Master. So you have to follow your own Master and see that he gives you the blessings you want. And ask for those blessings. Instead of asking outside, ask them inside. People say, what should we ask from our Master? I say, ask for one thing. Ask for Master's grace. Master, give me more grace, so everything works more smoothly. Outside and inside. In this life and inner life. Here and there. All, if you ask for grace, he is giving grace. But your asking for grace makes it more visible to you that he is giving grace. So therefore, don't feel shy of asking from your Master more grace, and still more grace. So that will be very good. Okay? In Wisconsin, you know, in Bruce, Wisconsin, I am trying to set up a little monument for my Master. My Master Baba Sawan Singh, he learned from Baba Jamal Singh, his master, that when they were looking for a place to set up a small place for satsang, for people to come, to set up a dera as they called it, they went around looking around, and Baba Jamal Singh stopped near the river Byas at one point and saw a madman, crazy man, waving his arms and saying, "This is where the big town will come. This is where the things will happen." Baba Jamal Singh said, "This is where the dera will come." He picked up that place on the river Byas. Today, and I spent so much time in the dera, he had only 2 little huts in which he stayed. This master wanted to set up a monument for his master, and he called it Dera Baba Jamal Singh in honor of his master. There people could gather. We have had satsangs, we have had miracles, we have had so many things happening, and we have seen so much miracle in that little piece of place where the dera was built. And I am very overwhelmed by the fact how that dera was built. Great Master said in 1937, I was 11 years old, when he said, the axis of spirituality is going to move to the West. That whereas today the Western countries are looking after making more money, more affluence, more worldly things, and the East has been responsible for a lot of the great masters coming and spreading spirituality, this will change. This will move to the West. And the desire to make more affluence, more money, more industries will move to the East. China and India, which have been responsible for so many masters coming, will become the hub of industrial activity, making more money. And countries in the West who caused industrial revolution and were after money and more physical wealth will turn to spirituality. And he said, the people of those countries are already seekers. Especially he mentioned North America. He said the axis of spirituality will shift to the West and localize itself in a big way in North America. He wrote this thing twice in his letters, which are published documents available, in 1937, that people of this country will be ready. All they will need will be somebody to explain to them in their language and their idiom. Otherwise, they are ready. When I read those letters, when I heard Great Master telling this very fact to an American disciple of his, Julian Johnson, that this is going to happen, I made my decision. I should run to this new country, United States, and take a ringside seat to see where the show takes place. I came in time, the show is taking place. So I can see that the future of the perfect spiritual path is going on here. And I can see that this is the place where many masters will come. Many perfect living masters will come in this part of the world. And people have been running from here to find masters in India and other places in the East. Easterns will come and look for masters in this place. You will watch it. You are young people. It will happen in your own age. You'll be able to see that. Meanwhile, like my master did, when he was just a disciple, he decided to have Dera Baba Jamal Singh. I said, I would like to have a Dera Baba Sawan Singh as a monument to my master. So I told some friends of mine many years ago, let's go along some rivers here. And there's no Byas river, but we looked at rivers and we found a river in Wisconsin. It's called the Chippewa River. The local people call it Ojibwa River. And we went there and we found one of our own party men getting crazy and waving near that river and saying, this is it, this is it. I said, this is it. exactly following the story I heard about Dera Baba Jamal Singh. I said, I am going to build something with my own hands. I am going to make something as a seva. I already, whatever seva great master has given me, whether it was to fan him or to clean the utensils in the langar or to do anything, done with great joy and got great joy in doing it. I said, I will do this as a seva with my hands. And then I realized I was very old. My hands are feeble. And I have never done any construction anyway. So I asked some people, will you help me? They said yes. And so today we have a plan and we are already making the construction possible. Could take place very soon. I'm glad I'm telling you this here in California. I told this in Bruce, I may tell again there. Would anybody sitting here like to help me in that building? In terms of building with the hands, labor, with any donation for the material or cash, or otherwise morally support me. How many would like to do that? I'm very happy. Thank you very much. I have a lot of good friends that will make that happen. And when it happens, it will be really a Western headquarters of a spiritual development at a level may not have been known before, because it will be in the spirit of the great master that the work will go on. And since the great master was able to convince me through experience to the hilt that he was a perfect living master, he proved not by his lectures, not by his talks, but by generating the experience in his disciples, who he was. And I'm sure that that will not merely be a place where we can get together, it will be a place where masters will come, perfect living masters will come. So I'm very happy that some of us will get a chance to contribute to that building of a place. We have set up a building committee for that. You know, it's in this worldly organization, we always set up committees, set up people to take on. It's a logistical thing. And the chairman of that committee is a very intelligent, experienced guy who knows about land, about soils and about things like that. He's a good organizer of human beings and organization of these kind of things. He happens to be here, and his name is Paul Bauer. May I request Paul Bauer to please stand up and show your face to these people so they know if they want to do. And there is to get the funds for that, those who want to contribute the funds for that, which is more easy for people to do than working with the hands, though I would like. I worked on the building of the Dera. I worked with a Mastana, one of the intoxicated disciples of Great Master. He is from Balochistan. Mastana and we carried bricks on our head. I carried one brick, he carried a whole basket of bricks. I was small. But I cannot tell you the joy of that seva. I cannot tell you how we felt about it. Today we go and see the building there and we say, wow, how it came up. And we were given a chance to do some seva for the master. It's such a beautiful experience. So for organizing the fundraising, which of course is under the direction of Chairman Paul Bauer, we have a member of that committee for fundraising, and she has been a fundraiser for different organizations, especially universities, for quite a while. She did work San Jose, in this California, and now she is heading the fundraising directorship of the San Francisco Symphony. And she has many years of experience in fundraising. how to appeal to people, how to do it. So we said, why not put in a little hand? She is a volunteer. She's doing this fundraising help for Paul Bauer. And her name is Ann Johnson. She happens to be here too. Will you stand up, Ann Johnson, so people can greet you? So at least two people of the committee are here. There are builders and architects. When I made this announcement at the last Bandara, I said, I can't do this with my own hands, I need help. Any architect, 3 architects came up and they began to give the drawings right during that meeting. How many builders? 3 or 4 builders came up, they have all experience in building. So I said, this is happening automatically. So I was very happy that as we need any help in manpower or funds or technical help, it will come by itself. I know Great Master. It is his work, his job. It will come up. It will be a nice place. With the spiritual backing of my Master, we'll have a great time in Wisconsin, and the Bandaras will be held there. In his instructions, initiations will be held there. Masters will be there. I think it's a great thing. I'm feeling very humbled and honored that this opportunity came to me to work in this country and to set up something like that. So anybody who would like to help me in this, you can certainly contact these people now or whenever you like. And you have an open invitation to come, not only to come to the Bandara in Wisconsin on 2nd of April, but you have an open invitation to come and look at the site where this is coming up, on a little hill on the bank of the river Chippewa, in Bruce, Wisconsin. And if you want directions and so on, I'll be there in Rice Lake, Wisconsin for the Bandara celebration. And I'll be there on the site on 3rd of April following the Bandara. I'll be very happy to meet all of you again who happen to be there. I thank you once again for your great patience, as you have been a great group of seekers. You are all blessed. You are all blessed. You are all marked. I'm very happy. It's a delight to meet co-travelers on the spiritual path. So I'm glad you will, if you feel that you can do a little more meditation after this 3-day session, I will feel we have succeeded in the workshop. If you develop more love and devotion for your Master after this 3-day session, I will think we succeeded. It was successful. How many of you think it was a successful workshop? That's a good pass percentage. Okay, thank you very much. Is the Prashad going to be here? So you take it. Remember, what is Prashad? I must tell you. Prashad is not something transformed molecularly into something different. It's ordinary candy and ordinary puffed rice. But the association of ideas with that is what makes it Prashad. When you look at it, when you eat it, when you see it, you think of your Master. That's what makes it Prashad. It is what it means. But because of this thinking, what it is, it gets almost charged with the power of your Master. And therefore, Prashad becomes something, when you take it, you feel connected to the Master. I recommend that when you get Prashad, even if it's candy or rice or something, take little bit at a time. We used to do that. Used to carry, they used to give puffed rice, used to carry and take a little bit. We had to last it till we came back again to the Master. So we didn't just eat it up like candy. We ate it like Prashad. So Prashad is something that's connected with the memory and to remembrance of a Master, and therefore it becomes special. So you take it, take a little bit, and if it finishes or is about to finish, and you can find something similar to it, mix it up. And then you won't know which is Prashad, which is not, and the whole thing will become Prashad. Because you will be associating every bit of it with the Master. The thing is, any means you have, any excuse you have to remember the master is good. Prasad is one of those. Okay? And those who would like to have prasad, please raise your hands. We have enough for everybody. Only thing I will not be able to come around to distribute it. So if you don't mind, you may have to come to me. Is that okay with you? All right.
ਪਰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਵੀ ਸੁਣਦੀਆਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਡੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਡਰਾਈਨੈਸ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੀਰੀਅਡ ਹੈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਡਰਾਈ ਮੈਡੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ Dry meditation is when you're getting nothing and there's no attraction inside. But once the attractive sounds, melodies, scenes start coming in, and especially when you can see your guru inside, it all changes. There's a dry period we all go through, but then we reach the right period where we see all those beautiful experiences. So you have to have patience during the dry period. But you can make it a little better by thinking of the Guru rest of the time.
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸੋਚਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
ਪਿਆਰ ਖਿੱਚੇਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਮੇਜਿਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੇ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਮੇਜਿਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੋ
ਪਰ ਵਨ ਵੇ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਜਵਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਐਕਸਪ੍ਰੈਸਿੰਗ ਮਾਈ ਲਵ ਆਈ ਮੀਨ ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ
ਜ਼ਰਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਜਵਾਬ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ have a regular conversation ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ conversation ਕਰੋ sorry we using the Punjabi language it makes her feel better makes me feel better to get a chance to talk in Punjabi with her but others can a little patience but we're discussing about the need for an experience inside to have the kind of love and devotion that we're talking about. And it is true that we need certain experiences, basic experiences, to really get carried away by that love and devotion. But before we get that, we have what is called a dry period when we just feel like we're struggling and we're not getting anything. But that seems to be a path that we have to go through because of our big distractions. Mind is constantly pulling us out. We're trying to pull in. It looks like a struggle. That's a big subject of our putting in our effort and banking on the grace of the Guru. And if you remind me, I'll talk about it later. Okay? How we match these two things. What is the role of our own effort and struggle in this path? And what is the role of the grace of a master coming in and helping us? And what's the distinction between the two? And so we'll talk about that. Okay? Yes. Maybe about 10%.
10%? Is that enough to pull everybody else?
Yes. If there is one perfect living master, he can pull everybody. But he follows a plan of the experiences generated here in which 10% are pulled back all the time.
That's why I feel sorrowful for the, for the separation we all feel, And I think that if there's hope for one, everybody should be included.
Well, in this path, everybody is included. Everybody is included. But supposing you want to take somebody somewhere and he says, wait, let me get some good time that I'm having here. You let him have a long rope to have the good time, don't you? That's what's happening. People say, we like to stay here. Not only here, even in the intermediate stages of experiences that we go towards our home, there are so many distractions. People are stuck there too. And the masters say, okay, we'll wait. For masters, patience is natural. For us, it is not natural. We are impatient people. We can be very impatient, but masters are patient. They can say, all right, you can take your time. For them, if you are a marked soul, it doesn't matter what you're doing, where you are, how much time you want. They allow you to have the experiences, but they'll take you back home. They'll modify your thinking, your attitude accordingly, and at the end, you want nothing else but go home. It happens automatically. Yes. बड़ी खुशी ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਏ। ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਰਸਪੋਂਡੈਂਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। The art of meditation is the art of dying while living. Dying while living means to have an experience while you're living in the human body, which you would have had anyway when you die in the physical body, which means to withdraw your attention from the body to the point in the brain behind the eyes, which happens automatically when we die, and you can have that experience created by meditation, by putting your attention there. Gradually, stage by stage, you find that the attention is withdrawn first from the world and its activities, then from your body, and then you open up another door, the 10th door, which happens when you die. It also happens when you meditate successfully to that point. Once that happens, you open up a new world, and that's the same world that people who die get into. That world is like this world. It is not different. We have people there. People who died are also there. People who are living, they have their counterparts sitting there. That's the astral world. And in that world, we have a different life. And you find that the body with which you awaken to that life has a much longer life than this physical body. The normal lifespan of an astral body is from 1,000 to 3,000 physical years. 1,000 to 3,000 physical years pass, and we have only one astral body, which is reborn again and again during that period. But then the astral body also dies. And then it moves into the causal body, which is our mind. The mind is also like a body. And the mind has a very big, long life, about 3 million physical years average. And so each of us are carrying the same mind for millions of years. The karma which we talk of is carried on the mind. So all previous events which create recycling of ourselves in rebirth are carried on the mind in that causal body. So these experiences take place when we die, either in the physical body, then we go to the astral. When we die in the astral body, we go to the causal. When we die there, we recirculate again. We remain in these three worlds all the time. Normal death does not take us beyond the astral world. Sometimes it takes us to the lower part of the astral world, which has two parts. The lower part we call the physico-astral overlap, which means that the same people who are here, we can see them when we die in disembodied spirit form. So when a person dies, he can see other people, but the other people cannot see him because we only see the outside body. We can't see the disembodied form of a person, but that person can see. So we begin to, when they try to contact us and do anything, we call them ghosts and spirits. And there are two kinds of ghosts and spirits. We call them bhoot and pret in Hindi. In Punjabi, you know bhoot and pret. Bhoot is a disembodied spirit that roams around because its desires were not fulfilled at one place and rushes around to see the different places where it wanted to go in the physical form and had a desire but could never go. The pret is a fixed place. It haunts the place where it died. Most of the prets are because of murders, accidents, and so on. So those bodies, even when disembodied, they stay in that and watch that show. They can't leave it very easily. These two are most common forms of spirits or disembodied forms of our life that roam around after death. We can get into that state even while living by pulling our attention. Our astral body moves around and can see all these things. If you go to the upper part of the astral plane, which is the first plane of consciousness, if you go there, you can fly very freely in the whole of this created universe, which looks like a very small universe. You can go to the other galaxies. You can go and see other planets which exist in this form, where questions are arising here, doubts are there, but you get direct access to those. You can fly there. You can also fly into other hells, heavens created, all exist there. They actually existing there, where you can have access and have those experiences. So there's great freedom to see more things. When you reach the beginning of the top astral plane, there you meet the form of your master who initiated you. And then you are together in a company which you like very much, because that's a permanent friendship. Then you travel together everywhere. The master then gradually takes you from stage to stage. Every stage you think is Sachkhand, till the master tells, no, there is more. So he actually persuades you at every stage to move up, because there is more. Each one looks so different, like the origin of the rest, that it looks like it is the final one, but it's not the final one. All these experiences of which come after death to normal people, we can have while we are still living, through the process of withdrawing attention behind the eyes. It's a good way to get it all done. Supposing you get the experience of dying while living, you will never be afraid of death after that. Because you will know you really don't die. You just change your body. And you change your body into a lighter, better body. The astral body that we have, the Suksham Sharir, does not have any weight. You don't have to take any weight loss classes there. No gym to go to. It has a same form in which you die, and the form can then change, because you discover that this physical form you got was only one form that you took, and you die with that form. If you are young, die, you carry a young face with you. Die old, you carry old face. Whatever your face here, you appear in the same face there. But then later on, you can change when you remember your past lives, and so many faces you have, and they can come up. Similarly, you can see your master's face in the same face you see it here. Then he can change to show you that he has been, supposing you are initiated in a past life, he can show you that form. He can also show you the form of his master and his master's master, and the whole line of masters you can see at that stage. It's a remarkable experience. There is no comparison with that experience with any show we have here. It's the best show I can recommend to you. If you want to see the best possible show, go within and see it. There's nothing like it. And all that can be done through simple process of withdrawing attention to the eye center from the body and dying while living. That is dying while living. Okay? Yes. The dying process can be very painful. Especially, it depends on how many attachments you have. The more attached you are to people and things, the more painful it becomes. It can also be painful physically, because you don't want to leave the body, and looks like we are being pulled out from the body. That's a painful experience. But if you have had the experience of dying while living, it's totally painless. And if you have a perfect living master who has initiated you, he appears even before you die and pulls you with his love in such a way that that time you forget everybody. Sometimes it can happen a few days before your death, sometimes a week or a month before your death. And I have seen, and some of you might have seen, that people who were following a perfect living master, that at the last time of their life, they become totally detached from everybody. And that detachment comes because the other pull is much stronger. And they also find the hollowness. Those who have meditated in their life and discovered this life after death, they have no problem at all. They wait, master comes, they say, we are ready, waiting. He says, let's go. Death is as simple as that. So death has no fear. There's no fear of death at all for one who has practiced this meditation. Yes?
Narcotics such as morphine or cocaine, etc., Do the narcotics interfere with consciousness while dying?
Narcotics?
The last one is about
Do the
narcotics,
painkillers.
painkillers, opiate painkillers to be interfere with consciousness.
Yeah, the painkillers that we take are for the body pain, and they have no relationship with what happens to the disembodied spirit. It doesn't have any effect on that. The painkillers are only for the physical body. The astral body, the disembodied spirit that leaves us, it has no effect on that. Well, there can be many levels of karma, which can be good or bad, and some of the very heavy karma is where you cannot even meditate, you have these problems. And also, the karma is not necessarily only physical. There's a lot of emotional karma, there's mental karma, it affects the mind. So karma is in many forms, and therefore one could be suffering mentally or suffering emotionally, suffering physically. They're all negative karma of different kinds. And sometimes it's a big obstruction for either getting on the spiritual path or even meditating. It does become an obstruction. It's a very heavy karma. We all pass through a lot of karma, and I think we must have some very good karma to come on the spiritual path. In one of the spiritual books, Guru Granth Sahib, it says, Kirt karam ke vichade kar kirpa mein lo Ram, that we have been separated by our bad karma for so long. Now give us an opportunity to get on the right track. So karma has prevented us from coming on the spiritual path. Actually, it's not only that karma can prevent people with that kind of bad karma. It's most of the people are so tied up with that kind of karma, they can't even think of coming on a spiritual path. To think of it, the spiritual path is, although we want to make it universal, like he says, everybody should have it, but the karma is such, their sanskars are such that they are trapped here and can't even think of the spiritual path. They don't, not only they don't believe it, they don't have access to it. They can't think of it. A large population of living beings has no access at all. So it's a very small percentage of people with that good karma to be able to come on this. So within this good karma also there are difficulties. Some have better advantage, some have not. Some have done a lot of work on the spiritual path in a past life. And they come here as children, they are spiritually minded, they like to go there. And great master, he initiated people as young. He gave half initiation to children as young as 5 and 6 years old. We all went to a hill station together. I was there with him. My father was there with him in Kalabag, mountain area. And he saw a group of children there. And they said, we want Naam, we want initiation. They're small kids. If you see a book called The Glimpses of Great Master, you see pictures of that. I'll show you privately, even on my iPhone, I kept a copy of the picture of little children, 4 or 5 years old. And he says, yes, I'll give them Naam. Little children, he used to give what is called half initiation. He told them how to listen to the sound inside. Because many kids listen to the sounds anyway. It's so natural. And so it becomes very easy for them to practice the listening of the sound, which helps them later on. When those very kids used to become teenagers, he would call them back and give them the remaining meditation of repeating words and Simran and so on. So then they got full initiation at that time. Those who were teenagers, to start with, he gave them Simran only sometimes, half initiation. And when they made some progress in meditation, he would give them the dhun or the shabad or the listening to the sound later on. So he felt that these people are marked. I remember when that group of 20 children were there, the secretaries who were accompanying him said, should we start chanti? Chanti means selection. Because there was selection, people would sit, he would call one by one a person and ask questions. You don't drink, you don't take meat, you follow some basic rules of the game, and therefore I can initiate you. And based on the answer, he would say, wait. He would say, you're ready? He would say, no, not yet ready. He would give some answer. And that selection, whoever he said, I accept, would then get initiated. And when those kids were produced before him, and the secretary said, should we start the selection? He said, they are already selected. And he initiated all of them. So this ability to get initiation at this young age is generally not randomly done. It is because they have done work in a past life. Most of them are initiated in a past life. And during meditation, they discover their past life and their past masters. So it is not that when a master looks at us, especially at the time of finding whether we are ready for initiation or not, he is not looking at us and our life as we know it. He is looking at a spectrum of lives. He's seen where we come from for a long period of time. He sees where we stand in that growth and a spiritual evolution for a long period of time, maybe 1,000 years, maybe several lifetimes. He looks at that, determines the time is right. It's time to go. So then he initiates. So many precocious children come and they have a past life experience with masters. Sometimes with the same master. They've died young and come back to get initiation again. Sometimes people have asked me, who is our master who stays with us forever? We talk of the radiant form of a master because we can have successive masters in past lives or even in the same life. We can have more than one master. Who is the master who stays with us as a permanent friend till we reach home? It's always the last one after which we never take a human birth. That image and that master and that personality remains with us as a permanent friend forever. It's a very good, nicely arranged pattern. It's such a nice way of escaping from this strange world of misery and pain and unhappiness. Basically, this world I see is a world of unhappiness. We have happy moments, pleasurable moments, painful moments, but overall, looks like we experience more suffering and unhappiness than we suffer pleasure or joy. We have both, combination of both. If our karma was such that we only had to have pain and suffering, we wouldn't be here. There are plenty of hells designed for that. Go on suffering there. If our karma was so good that we had to have a good time all the time, we wouldn't be here either. There are so many heavens created for that purpose. Go and have a good time. Human life only comes when there's a combination of both. When we have ups and downs combined, then we become human. And it's a great combination because human life is when you can really find a perfect living master and go home. There are souls who are in higher regions right now, who have gone through other processes, not through a perfect living master, but through masters who could take them to the astral or even causal plane. And they are stuck there. And they want to go further. And the only way they can go further is to come back as a human being, be reinitiated here as a human being and go up again. So therefore, the only opening that is left out to reach home is the human body, human life. Therefore, it's the best form of life. If somebody asks me, is it better to be here or in the astral plane? I'll say here. They say, what kind of guy are you? Don't you think a higher level of consciousness is better? Well, for an experience, yes. But for going home, no. This is the place from where you go home. You don't have the free will there, which you have here. You don't have the ignorance there, which you have here. Thank God. Ignorance is bliss in that case. The beauty of the ability to have a master in a human being is that the responsibility shifts to the master, which is very different from any other kind of teaching. If the master takes responsibility, and of course you have to verify by going to the radiant form, otherwise it's blind faith. Supposing a man tells you, I am a master and I am going to take you there, and you say, okay, and nothing happens. How do you know he was a master or not? Where is the proof? The biggest problem, and with a doubting mind, her mind is a doubting mind, how will you make any progress at all? You have no idea at all. But you can give it a try. At least try what he says. If it doesn't work, you have to move on and pray inside. I want a real master. I want a master who can give the commitment to take me home. This is the request, a kind of seeking, a kind of asking. I tell you, if you sit inside and ask for anything, you get it. Learn how to sit inside. That's the main thing. Don't ask with this mouth into this world. You can get all kinds of people around you, but ask there. Don't even speak. Let the master find you there and appear in the physical world, because you need a physical master in a physical body that you have and he has. So it's a beautiful system. I can't say too much about these things because it is overwhelming. It's overwhelming how beautiful an experience is promised to us just by seeking inside. Don't stop seeking. Don't stop seeking even if you have a master. Say, I seek more. I want more. I met a girl in the early 80s when I was here, shifted to this country. And all her antashkaran was, I want more. She said, can you read what is written on my forehead? I said, I see the same word written on my forehead. I want more. I want more. I said, that should be standard for all seekers. We want more. We want more. We are not satisfied what we have. We want more. Master, give us more. God, give us more. Whoever is the truth, give us more. We seek inside. And you will get it. There's a power in seeking and asking. But if you don't ask, then you must have such immense faith that you have discovered the perfect living master. Then you have tested him out. That whatever your questions were have been answered. Your intellect, your mind, the skeptic self has been satisfied and you want to move forward. When that stage comes, don't ask. You say, you know what I'm going to ask already, and he will know it. Then you get everything without asking. But you must reach that stage, a stage by experience of that confidence that you can say, you already know. And he will prove to you he already knows. He'll prove it again and again that he already knows what you're going to ask. Yes.
I wondered if you could comment on the value of being on the path. It seems one must learn a lot of patience, or it feels to me like I need to be patient, because the work is not very fast. Where does the patience enter in?
I agree entirely with you. Patience is very important on this path, because when we get impatient, we get off the path. We divert ourselves. Patience is needed. And patience is a very great quality anyway. Patience is a great quality for living in this life. Patience is a great quality on the spiritual path. Because if we cannot wait, we lose. According to Herman Hesse's book on the life of Buddha, Siddhartha, he says Buddha, after he went for enlightenment and came back into this world to live again, he wanted to find a job. And he went to a grocery store where they were selling vegetables and lentils and so on. And he said, I want a job. They said, have you had any experience? And Buddha said, no, I've never sold anything. He said, how can you do this job? He said, because I can think, I can wait, and I can fast. Anybody who can do these things can get anything done. Got the job. Wait was one of those things, that I have patience. So I agree, patience is very important, because if we become impatient, then we may just miss when we are going to get something. Patience is good. Thank you.